I got to tell you, you heard that welcome?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're in a lot of trouble. All over the world, no matter where you go, your whole life's changed completely.
Yeah, not yet. I'm just beginning, you know, to feel the effects of it. But up until...
Well, the picture's new.
Yeah, it's brand new and it's just coming out. But up to now, I've been able, you know, to take the subway in New York at rush hour and no one bothers me. I think there's something maybe about New York that's kind of special, that a guy who played Superman, it's just one in a series. You know, they've seen everything in New York, you know. There's nothing. I came out last year. We had to do a scene in New York in which, for the first time, I would have to appear in costume on the street. And I was terribly nervous because I thought this is really going to be a problem. And we were shooting on location on 42nd Street on a hot summer's night, and I thought this would be, you know, really pretty hairy. So they got 3 bodyguards, really strong, mafia type.
Bodyguards.
Absolutely. Bodyguards for Superman, right.
Yeah.
And, you know, complete with the anchors on their arms that says mother and all this kind of stuff, you know. And I'm in my trailer getting ready and all this kind of stuff, and finally they knock on the door and say, okay, we're ready for you, Mr. Reeve. And I'm complete with red cape and the boots and the tights and the black hair and the whole thing, and I open the door, and I come out, and there's nobody there because, you know, because Superman in New York, hey, they've seen it, you know, whatever.
Sure.
He's probably on his way to Studio 54. You know?
Or he's been there all evening.
Right.
I read, there's a disparity in the articles I've written about it. One I read that you were a bodybuilder to begin with, and then I read that somebody had to build your body.
No, I was asparagus to begin with.
Asparagus.
Yes, I mean, really.
Well, how long did it take you to grow into a big stalk?
Into a coat hanger, right? No, what happened was that they liked the idea of me for the part, but I came in and I was very, very thin. I was sort of very tall and slender, and Superman really looks like a large coat hanger, very wide shoulders and a very narrow waist. Sure. And so they said, well, you know, we have fake muscles for you. I said, you've got to be kidding, you know? And I said, no, listen, if I do the part, I'm going to go to the gym and get ready. So I just simply put a poster on the wall of what the man's supposed to look like, and went to the gym and worked out. The initial 15 pounds of muscle weight came in 10 weeks, and the next 15 pounds came over a year.
That's
so gradually, if you look very carefully, there's some scenes in the movie where it's, you know, it's the early stages and other things where it's larger.
That's incredible. You can really, I mean, if you basically have the frame for it, you can really build that kind of muscle, I suppose that's what...
With the right state of mind and the right coach and the right discipline. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody unless they really had coaching.
Yeah. I mean,
well, how long did it take? A year?
No, the first 15 pounds came in 10 weeks, and the rest of it came over a year. I kept working up until the last day of shooting.
Are you still doing it?
No, I haven't lifted anything heavier than a gin and tonic glass since.
You also said something very interesting about that muscles don't turn to fat.
No, they don't. Yeah. No, I mean, and Schwarzenegger, who's the expert, would be the first one to tell you that. Is that you regulate your eating to the amount that you're exercising, and you just simply eat less and exercise less. It's like a rubber band. If you stretch it out of place, when it comes back in, it'll be, you know, perfectly normal.
But are your measurements changing now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm now going back down. I've lost about 18 pounds. And I'll get back in shape for the sequel.
Interesting, though, another thing that you said if you're in the right frame of mind. Do you mean that you can think big, or that you can think positively that I can build muscles here, and if I eat the right foods, that it'll really happen? And if you go into a gym thinking that it's not going to happen, it won't?
I think acting, weightlifting, anything you want to do is simply a question of talking yourself into it. There's something about it. You know, how do you play Superman? Well, you do it by just imagining that this is possible, you know? I mean, I like that. For me, it had to extend to the flying. That you can't just hang up there on the equipment or on the machinery with the technicians doing all the fakery, and it wouldn't work. They used to put the stuntmen up there to practice, and the director would say, what's the matter? I don't believe that. That doesn't look like